Today we're making pumpkin spice pull-apart bread. It's been a minute since we've done a pull-apart bread, so when I saw this comment, I thought, that sounds delicious, let's do it. 1/4 of a cup of warm milk, this is whole milk, a tablespoon of sugar, and a half a tablespoon of yeast. I always use a pasteurized yeast. I'm gonna mix this and just let it rest here for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and frothy. Meanwhile, I'm gonna warm up some apple juice. If you can find apple cider, even better. While I'm waiting, I went ahead and mixed together 2 eggs and a half a cup of pumpkin puree. Once your yeast is ready, add the apple juice, pumpkin puree, and eggs. And I'm gonna start with 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and I'm using a half of a teaspoon of salt since I'm using salted butter, and 1/4 of a cup of softened butter. Mix all of that together. I'm gonna go ahead and add a 1/3 cup of flour. I grabbed a 1/4 cup of flour. I'm just flouring my mat. I'm gonna take this shaggy dough and place it on my mat. This already smells so good. And we'll start kneading for about 5 to 10 minutes until this dough comes together, and I'm gonna incorporate more flour from this 1/4 cup I have here as the dough gets sticky. I used 4 cups of flour and my dough looks perfect. If your dough looks too sticky, just add a tablespoon at a time until it looks like this. I just coated my bowl with some softened butter, but you can use avocado oil or any kind of spray. And I'm just gonna cover this up and let it rest for an hour to an hour and a half. You just want it to double in size. The dough's almost ready, so let's get started on the filling. I have 6 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons, just heaping tablespoons of this pumpkin puree, a half of a cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and a half of a teaspoon of nutmeg. We'll just mix this together and make like a paste. I buttered my loaf pan. I'm just coating it with a thin layer of sugar, just like this. Our dough has doubled. I rolled this one out almost into a rectangle shape, and then now I'm just gonna place my spread all over the top. And I'm just gonna make some cuts. I just eyeball this. I'll go twice across and then 3 times down. Fold each section and place it into your loaf pan. And I had to smush them down a little bit to get everybody to fit in there, but they all fit. I just covered this with saran wrap and we'll let it rest for probably 30 minutes because it's already pretty full. I'm gonna go ahead and place this in the oven at 350 degrees, and I'll place a large sheet pan on the bottom rack so that if it bubbles over, it doesn't make a mess in the oven. I'm just gonna make a quick icing to go on the top, 1/4 of a cup of softened butter, a cup of powdered sugar. I'm just gonna do a pinch of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cinnamon. If you have a pumpkin pie spice, that would be really good. A tablespoon of cream or milk. And we'll start with 1 tablespoon of apple juice or apple cider. I'm gonna add another tablespoon of apple juice. I'm also just adding a half of a teaspoon of vanilla. I baked this for 35 minutes and I fear I might have overstuffed this one. Now I'm just gonna pour this glaze all over the top. All right, so I definitely overstuffed this one, but I already know it's gonna taste delicious. Here's a little piece, it's so hot. This is absolutely to die for. And honestly, I just made this one up today as I was making this video, and the flavors are incredible. Like, I love it. I love the addition of the apple juice. This dough recipe is definitely a keeper. I'm excited to make some cinnamon rolls with it, so stay tuned for that one. Honestly, this is dangerously good. Let me know if you try it.